What if I told you that the smartphone in your hand, the medical procedure that saved your grandmother's life, and the very streets you walk on exist because of brilliant black minds whose names were deliberately erased from history? Welcome back to Arc of Ages, where we are the detectives uncovering the stolen stories of our ancestors. This is part 2 of our investigation into the brilliant inventors whose contributions were silenced, stolen, and suppressed. If you haven't seen part 1, pause this video right now and go watch it, because every single one of you in this community needs to know these names. Before we dive in, I need to acknowledge something incredible. The response to part 1 has been absolutely phenomenal. Over 50,000 of you have joined this movement to uncover hidden black history. Look at these comments. At History Seeker 23 said, "I'm a teacher and I'm adding these inventors to my curriculum." At Truth Uncovered wrote, "My grandfather was an inventor but never got credit. Thank you for this." We have people watching from Nigeria to Norway, from Brazil to Bangladesh, all of us united in one mission to resurrect the names that were buried, to honor the brilliance that was stolen, and to ensure these stories are never forgotten again. Today, we're going deeper. We're uncovering 10 more inventors whose stories will make you question everything you thought you knew about innovation, about history, and about the systematic silencing of black excellence. But first, let's talk about why these stories were hidden. We're not just talking about oversight or coincidence. We're talking about deliberate, systematic erasure, patents stolen, credit given to white colleagues, names removed from history books, entire legacies wiped clean. Every single inventor we're about to discuss faced the same brutal reality. Their brilliance threatened the narrative that innovation was a white man's domain, so their contributions were minimized, their names forgotten, their patents stolen. But here's the thing about truth. It has a way of surviving, and we are the generation that's going to make sure these names echo through eternity. Are you ready to be part of this resurrection? Our first inventor gave birth to a phrase that's still used today, but most people have no idea they're honoring a black man every time they say it. Meet Elijah McCoy, the man behind the real McCoy. Born in 1844 to escape slaves in Canada, McCoy became a mechanical engineer at a time when black men weren't supposed to be anything more than laborers. But McCoy had a problem to solve that would revolutionize industry forever. In the 1870s, trains had to stop every few miles so workers could manually oil the moving parts. This was inefficient, dangerous, and costly. While white engineers accepted this as just the way things are, McCoy saw possibility. He invented the automatic lubricating cup, a device that could oil machinery while it was still running. This wasn't just an improvement, this was revolutionary. And suddenly, trains could run hundreds of miles without stopping. But here's where the silencing began. Railroad companies started demanding the real McCoy. They wanted the original, not the inferior knockoffs. But McCoy's name was systematically removed from advertising, from company documents, from history. Today, every piece of heavy machinery in the world uses some version of McCoy's innovation. Every time you hear someone say the real McCoy, you're witnessing the ghost of a silenced genius demanding recognition. Drop a comment right now if you've ever used the phrase the real McCoy. without knowing you were honoring Black excellence. Let's flood this comment section with awareness. Our next inventor is responsible for technology that literally connects the world, yet her name remains unknown to billions who used her innovations daily. Meet Dr. Marian Croak, the woman whose invention is overlooked but used every day. Internet Protocol, VoIP. Every time you make a Skype call, use WhatsApp voice messages, or conduct a Zoom meeting, you're using Dr. Croak's technology. She holds over 200 patents and is one of the most prolific inventors in telecommunication history. Working at AT&T Bell Labs in the 1980s and 90s, Dr. Croak was developing the future while facing the dual burden of being both Black and female in a field dominated by white men. Her colleagues questioned her abilities, her ideas were dismissed, her contributions were minimized. But Dr. Croak persisted. She developed the protocols that would allow voice to travel over internet networks efficiently and clearly. She solved problems that stumped entire teams of engineers. Today, over 3 billion people use VoIP technology every single day. The global VoIP market is worth over $100 billion annually, yet Dr. Croak's name appears in no history textbooks, no innovation halls of fame. The silencing of Dr. Croak isn't ancient history, it's happening right now. In 2022, she was inducted into the Women in Technology International Hall of Fame. Did you see that on the news? Of course not. If Dr. Marian Croak's story amazes you, hit that like button right now. Let's make sure her name trends. Let's make sure people know that a Black woman invented the technology that keeps us all connected. Hold up. I need to pause for a moment because something incredible is happening right now. We've gained over 500 new community members just in the last 10 minutes. People are sharing this video, commenting with their own family stories of hidden inventors. This is exactly what I'm talking about. We are becoming the force that resurrects these stories. Every share, every comment, every like is an act of historical justice. We're not just watching a video, we're participating in a movement. If you're feeling this energy, if you're feeling empowered by these stories, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. We have 8 more inventors to uncover, and each story gets more incredible. Our third inventor didn't just save lives. He performed what was considered impossible surgery and founded institutions that changed medicine forever. Meet Dr. Daniel Hale Williams, the man who performed the first successful heart surgery. In 1893, when Black people were banned from most hospitals and medical schools, Dr. Williams founded Provident Hospital in Chicago, the first interracial hospital in America. But his greatest moment came when a young man arrived with a knife wound to the chest. Without x-rays, without modern surgical equipment, with only candlelight and his incredible skill, Dr. Williams opened the man's chest and repaired a tear in the protective sac around the heart. This had never been successfully attempted before. The surgery was a complete success. Dr. Williams had achieved what the entire medical establishment said was impossible. He should have been celebrated worldwide, featured in every medical journal, remembered as a pioneer. Instead, his achievement was systematically downplayed. White medical journals either ignored the surgery or gave credit to unnamed Chicago physicians. Medical history books erased his name, attributed the first heart surgery to white doctors decades later. Today, over 600,000 heart surgeries are performed annually in the United States alone. Every single one builds on the foundations that Dr. Daniel Hale Williams established in 1893. Yet medical students graduate without knowing his name. Dr. Williams also trained the first black interns and residents, breaking barriers that had kept black physicians out of surgery. He didn't just perform miracles, he created systems to ensure others could follow. The next time you hear about a successful heart surgery, maybe saving someone you love, remember Dr. Daniel Hale Williams. Remember that a black man made that miracle possible, and his name deserves to be spoken with reverence. Every day, millions of people around the world deposit letters, packages, and important documents into a device invented by our fourth silence genius. Meet Philip B. Downing, the man who invented the street mailbox. Before Downing's 1891 invention, people had to travel to post offices to mail letters. His hinged mailbox with a protective mechanism revolutionized communication, making mail accessible from every street corner. But Downing's genius went beyond just creating a box. He designed a weather-resistant system with a hinged door that protected mail from the elements while preventing theft. His device was so perfect that it remains virtually unchanged today. Here's what's infuriating. The U.S. Postal Service, which has generated trillions in revenues using Downing's invention, has never officially acknowledged his contribution. Postal museums display mailbox history without mentioning his name. Downing filed his patent on October 27, 1891, patent number 462092. The documentation is clear, the invention is documented, yet somehow this black man's contribution to global communication infrastructure has been erased. Think about this. Every letter you've ever mailed, every package delivery, every piece of correspondence that has shaped human connection for over 130 years has flowed through a system created by Philip B. Downing. The next time you pass a mailbox, take a photo with it and post it on social media with #PhilipDowning. Let's flood the internet with recognition for this forgotten genius. Let's make his name impossible to ignore. Our fifth inventor created one of the most beloved toys in history, but his story reveals how even successful black inventors face ongoing challenges in recognition and respect. Meet Lonnie Johnson, the NASA engineer who invented the Super Soaker. Before becoming a toy legend, Johnson was a brilliant aerospace engineer working on NASA's Cassini mission to Saturn and the Mars Observer project. The man literally helped us explore other planets. But in 1989, while working on a new type of heat pump, Johnson accidentally created the mechanism that will become the Super Soaker. Instead of dismissing it, he saw potential in what others might consider a mistake. The Super Soaker became one of the best-selling toys of all time, generating over $1 billion in sales. It revolutionized the toy industry and created an entirely new category of water toys. And here's where the silencing becomes modern and vicious. Toy companies repeatedly tried to steal Johnson's patents, forcing him into expensive legal battles that lasted decades. They questioned his engineering credentials, challenged his intellectual property rights, and attempted to erase his contribution to their billion-dollar profits. What they don't want you to know is that Johnson holds over 120 patents. He's invented revolutionary battery technology, improved NASA systems, and developed innovations in robotics. The Super Soaker was just one brilliant idea among hundreds. Today, Lonnie Johnson continues to inspire young black inventors, but he's still fighting for recognition and respect in industries that profit from black brilliance while minimizing black contributions. Our sixth silenced inventor revolutionized household efficiency with a device found in millions of homes worldwide. Meet Sarah Boone, who invented the modern ironing board and transformed domestic life forever. Before Boone's 1892 patent, people ironed clothes on kitchen tables or makeshift wooden planks. Her innovative design featured a narrow, curved surface, perfect for ironing sleeves and fitted garments, with collapsible legs for easy storage. As an African-American woman in post-Reconstruction America, Boone faced the intersection of racial and gender discrimination. The Patent Office rarely granted patents to black women, making her achievement even more remarkable. Every ironing board manufactured today uses elements of Boone's original design: the narrow width, the padded surface, the collapsible structure, all Boone's innovations from over 130 years ago. The global ironing board market generates hundreds of millions annually, yet Sarah Boone's name appears nowhere in company histories or product marketing. Her contribution has been completely erased from the narrative of domestic innovation. Even in women's history exhibits celebrating domestic innovations, Boone's name is absent. This erasure isn't accidental. It's systematic denial of black women's contribution to improving daily life. Our seventh inventor revolutionized an entire industry with a machine so advanced that it transformed global manufacturing. Meet Ernst Matzeliger, whose shoemaking machine changed the world but cost him his life. In the 1880s, shoes were made entirely by hand. Skilled cobblers could produce only a few pairs per day, making shoes expensive, luxury items that most people couldn't afford. Matzeliger was the son of a Dutch father and a Surinamese mother, moved to Massachusetts and became obsessed with mechanizing shoe production. He spent years developing a machine that could attach shoe soles to uppers automatically. His lasting machine could produce 700 pairs of shoes per day, compared to the 50 pairs a skilled cobbler could make by hand. This 1,400% increase in efficiency revolutionized footwear manufacturing worldwide. But Matzeliger's machine was so valuable that he became a target. Factory owners offered him enormous sums for his patent, but when he refused to sell for unfair prices, they began a campaign to steal his design and destroy his reputation. The stress of fighting patent thieves while working 16-hour days to perfect his invention destroyed Matzeliger's health. He died at age 37, just as his machine was transforming the global shoe industry. Today, every shoe you've ever worn was manufactured using principles that Jan Matzeliger pioneered. The global footwear industry generates over $300 billion annually, built on the foundations of his revolutionary machine. Our eighth inventor holds more patents than most people realize exist, revolutionizing women's health and hygiene with innovations that impact millions daily. Meet Mary Beatrice Davidson Kenner, the most prolific black woman inventor in history. Between 1957 and 1987, Kenner received 57 patents, more than any other black woman in American history. Her inventions improved women's lives in ways that were desperately needed but completely ignored by male-dominated industries. Her most famous invention was an improved sanitary belt for menstrual hygiene in 1957. At a time when women's health products were primitive and uncomfortable, Kenner created a moisture-proof napkin pocket that prevented embarrassing accidents. But when companies discovered that Kenner was black, they refused to manufacture her product. One company literally sent a rejection letter stating they didn't want to be associated with a colored inventor. Kenner's other inventions included an improved toilet tissue holder, a backwasher for people with limited mobility, and a walker with a tray for carrying items. Each solved real problems that improved quality of life. The global feminine hygiene market generates over $40 billion annually, using innovations that Mary Kenner pioneered decades ago. Yet her name appears nowhere in corporate histories or product development narratives. Kenner didn't receive widespread recognition until the 1980s, decades after her most important contributions. Even today, most women using products based on her innovations have never heard her name. Our ninth inventor co-created the technology that powers every computer you've ever used, yet his name remains unknown to billions who depend on his innovations daily. Meet Mark Dean, the IBM engineer who co-invented the personal computer. In the 1980s, while working at IBM, Dean co-invented the industry standard architecture, ISA bus, the system that allows computers to connect to printers, monitors, keyboards, and other devices. Without his innovation, personal computers would be useless boxes. Dean also led the team that created the first gigahertz processor chip, breaking the speed barrier that many thought was impossible. His work literally made modern computing possible. Every smartphone, laptop, and tablet uses principles he pioneered. But here's where the silencing becomes corporate and systematic. Despite holding over 40 patents and being inducted into the National Inventors Hall of Fame, Dean's contributions are consistently minimized in IBM's official history and computer science textbooks. Computer science students graduate without knowing that a black man co-invented the personal computer. Technology museums display computer evolution without mentioning Dean's foundational contributions. The global computer hardware market generates over $400 billion annually. Every computer chip manufactured, every device connected, every digital interaction you've ever had builds on the foundation that Mark Dean established. Today, Dr. Dean continues to push technological boundaries, working on cognitive computing and artificial intelligence. Yet his past achievements remain largely invisible to the world that benefits from his genius every single day. Our final inventor revolutionized how humanity stays warm, creating the foundation for modern home heating systems. Meet Alice H. Parker, whose 1919 invention made comfortable living possible for millions. Before Parker's innovation, people heated their homes with dangerous, inefficient fireplaces or wood-burning stoves. Her central heating furnace used natural gas to heat air that was then distributed throughout buildings via ducts. Parker's system was revolutionary because it provided even heat distribution, reduced fire hazards, and eliminated the need to tend fires constantly. She essentially invented the concept of central heating that we take for granted today. Every home built in the last century used principles that Alice Parker established. The global HVAC market generates over $240 billion annually, all based on innovations she pioneered as a black woman in 1919. Yet engineering students study heating and cooling systems without learning Parker's name. HVAC professionals install systems daily without knowing they're implementing a black woman's revolutionary design. Think about this. Every comfortable building you've ever entered, schools, hospitals, offices, homes, maintain its temperature using principles that Alice H. Parker invented over 100 years ago. Her innovation literally made modern civilization livable. We've just uncovered 10 more names that were deliberately erased from history. 10 more brilliant minds whose contributions were silenced, stolen, and suppressed. But here's what we want you to understand. This isn't just about the past. Right now, today, there are black inventors fighting the same battles. Their patents are being challenged, their contributions minimized, their names erased from the technologies they created. But something different is happening right now in this moment. We, this community, are changing that narrative. Look at what we've accomplished together. Over 200,000 views on part 1, thousands of comments sharing family stories, teachers adding these names to curriculums. Every single person watching this video is now equipped with knowledge that was hidden from you. You know names that textbooks refuse to print. You understand innovations that corporations refuse to credit. This is your moment of power. You are now the keeper of these stories. You are the one who will speak these names. You are the one who will ensure these inventors are never silenced again. If these stories have moved you, if you feel empowered by this knowledge, if you're ready to be part of the solution, subscribe to Arc of Ages right now. Hit that notification bell. Share this video with everyone you know. We here at Arc of Ages are happy to announce that we now offer exclusive content via our membership plan. Experience a variety of premium videos and shorts with our community and sign up today. Because we're not just uncovering history, we're creating it. We're building a community that refuses to let brilliance be buried. We're becoming the force that resurrects silenced genius. Part 3 is coming soon, and we're going international. We're uncovering African inventors whose technologies shaped the ancient world. We're finding Caribbean innovators whose work built modern agriculture. We're discovering stories that will blow your mind. Remember their names, speak their names, honor their names, because every time you do, you're committing an act of historical justice. You're refusing to let genius be silenced. This is Arc of Ages, where we uncover the hidden history that shapes our world. Thank you for being part of this movement. Thank you for your refusing to let these stories die. We'll see you in part 3.